r/AskReddit, what's a hobby or skill you've always wanted to pursue but haven't had the chance to yet? I want to try sewing and quilting but need to save up for a decent sewing machine. There's always hand piecing and hand quilting. Scuba diving. It comes up a lot on a podcast I listen to, that is mostly about something else, and it seems like it would be cool. I don't really have the budget though. This for me as well. It just seems such a cool thing, but so expensive. Learning ASL. I have a teach yourself boom. But I can never seem to motivate myself to start working on it. I've learned and forgotten the ASL alphabet at least twice. It has an app called Lingvano on Play Store. It is like Duolingo, just for ASL. You can always try this to see if it helps on your quest, smiley face. Soldering, I actually need to learn it soon since it plays a big factor in fixing technology. It's honestly not hard. I was a certified electronics assembler for a major aerospace defense contractor, buy a decent iron, flux, and a few practice boards and try to follow IPC 610 and JSTD001 practices and you're good to go. I've been picking up used equipment so I can learn to micro solder. My brother solders and he just picked up an e-bike cheap because something needed to be resoldered. Going to the gym, I always manage to talk myself out of it, really wish I wouldn't, considering I have an issue with body image. I feel like having that skill can save you a ton of money. Violin, remember begging my parents for lessons. Same. Reading. Can't focus for the life of me. Eyes keep scanning the paper but brain is thinking about dinner instead of processing any content. I absolutely relate to this. Try short stories that are 2 to 5 pages long. Even try poetry, poets like Khalil Gibran, his works are more philosophical but they are short and they hold so much in them. These might be easier to read than full books. The mental load would be much lighter for you knowing it's not 200 pages you need to get through. Audiobooks are the way. Welding, define telly. Live in an apt, so have no place to do it see. Welding is fun, it's like glue but made out of metal. It's also really dirty and smelly. My partner and I have a home gym and I still can't get myself to do it despite really wanting to. I injured myself twice before and now I'm just paranoid it's going to happen again. Kickboxing. Go to a gym, they usually offer free trials. I started training Muay Thai 2 years ago and it's the best thing I could have gotten into. Japanese woodworking. I can hammer garbage together at right angles, but I've always had this little part in the back of my mind that wants to make perfectly fitted, nailless wooden joints. Listen to the pop sound when these pieces fit together in the few seconds of the video. Link. I can see how that would be satisfying. Pilot's license. Always been a dream of mine. I really find the radio super hard to follow. Maybe one day. You can tune in your local tower frequency as background noise, that helped me wrap my head around radio calls. Just takes practice and it will become second nature. Also most radio calls follow a predictable pattern. It gets to the point where 90% of the time you know what the controller is going to say before they say it, and they know what you're going to say before you say it. Real woodworking. I can make picture frames and minor things, but I'd love to use a lathe. It can be frustrating how much space you need for it. Even if you go for benchtop versions of tools instead of big floor models, you still need space for infeed and outfeed, and something underneath both to support your board. Well, maybe not so much on a lathe, but you'll want other stuff. Table saw, drill press, miter saw, planer, jointer. Pretty soon you've filled up a whole room. Not to mention the cost. Still worth it, though. Jiu-jitsu. Never too late to start and you'll be glad you did, it's the most fun I've had, even when getting my ass kicked. Photography here. I've been honing my skills, eager to capture life's fleeting moments in a way that tells a story. Still, I'm always second guessing my shots. Gotta keep pushing past the self-doubt. This is my hobby and I'm a purple belt. It was always one of those things that I wanted to do. Had no idea how to get into it, I guess I hadn't given it much thought. Until a place opened up right by me, checked out their website and they offered a week free trial. Everyone is so friendly and welcoming, training 8 years now. Drawing. I got good by being bored in school. I'd get crap from my teachers for drawing stuff on my homework. Haha. Singing. I'm doing a bunch of vocal exercises. I wanna serenade the fuck out of people. I just started. I found a guy who charges $250 a month who also teaches instruments. Racing. Because I don't have space, time, and money. I also want to be a racist. This would be amazing. Motocross or track. Sim racing is getting damn good. For the cost of a single set of racing tires you can build a pretty serious setup and race all day long. Rubik's Cube. I've had plenty of chances, just can't get myself to focus for a few hours. I have a 5-hour flight next week, maybe this is the one. From a fellow photographer, you've got this. Do it for yourself. Do it to express the way you view the world and make your own art. There is nothing to second guess, although there is always room for improvement. Don't be afraid of making mistakes, they're just pointers for how to make the next shot better. I went on a trip to Scotland in December, and since December is a bit miserable, I spent some decent time in my hotel. Picked up how to solve it in about an hour via a YouTube video. Practiced on the plane back and it stuck. There's a tutorial on YouTube by a guy called JPerm and it's really good and taught me the cube. Crocheting. My BFF made me a matching scarf and beanie set. I really want to learn so I can make cool stuff for my grandkids. EDA, I forgot I was using my husband's old phone. I'm a grandma. Wood and metalworking. I was a welder professionally for a decade and have also done minor woodworking, so I have the skills and know-how. I sadly live in an apartment which makes it very impractical. Would love to own a house with a garage that I could turn into a dedicated workshop to put some of my ideas into reality. But until, or if, that happens, it's just not a feasible hobby. Saxophone. I'm retiring before too long. To hell with the neighbors. I played it in middle and high school. I find it to be easier than any other woodwind because the fingers for each note is similar to the plastic recorder from elementary school. And you can find classical pieces and contemporary pieces to learn because it's such a versatile instrument. Learning a new language. It opens so much more opportunities. It's so hard to learn a language as an adult. Makes me wonder how I learned as a kid. I keep saying I'm gonna pick up Portuguese again, but then I get distracted. Paragliding. I'll never do it cause it's too dangerous, but man do I want to. Playing piano. I've always wanted to master the ancient and noble art of cheese rolling, but alas, my lack of legs and a steep hill nearby has really put a wedge in those plans. Invent the sport of cross-country cheese rolling. With a wheelchair maybe? Here are a few. Playing the piano. I have always loved music, and I think it would be incredibly rewarding to learn to play an instrument. The piano is a great way to learn the basics of music. The banjo is as well, so I've recently discovered. Keep telling myself I'll sign up for glass blowing classes one of these days. Had a friend who took classes and she loved it so much that it's kind of her side business now. I would like to learn it as well. I did a glass blowing tour once and asked how the makers got into it. Turns out they actually went to college and majored in art with a specialty in glass making. Music. I love listening to music. I love how people can use musical instruments seemingly effortlessly, but behind it is years of hard work and practice. I might get some instrument once I can spare the cash to, but I'd really want to begin sometime in the future. You can always try starting to play around in some software, there are free ones out there. If you have a MacBook, you have GarageBand for free, which is extremely fun to start with. Roller skating. I came here for this. I already knew how to play the guitar, and my grandma asked me if I wanted piano lessons, and I opted out. Picking it up in my 30s is tough, and I wish I went after it at it when I was 12 and learning was easier. I went as far as buying a pair. Still haven't tried it yet. Judo or Muay Thai. I've got a black belt in TKD already, but I would also like to get thrown LOL. Too bad there's not too many judo studios around me. Playing the theremin. If I had another 7 lifetimes, there is a ton of hobbies I would do. Even old school shit like model railroad. Ain't no one got time for that in late stage capitalism. Origami. You can look up a Basel lion forms online, and once you are familiar with the basic ones you can make anything with patient practice. Super fun. Archery and free diving. Both activities are unavailable in my province, sad face. Diorama or any type of building miniature. Looks kind of fun until you realize you need a lot of tools and materials. Blacksmithing. I started lessons when I was 30, it's never too late to start. My biggest regret. I wish I learned when I was a kid.
Hey guys, it's Reddit Glitch. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. I just wanted to ask you guys to hit the subscribe button because according to my statistics, 98.8% of my viewers are not subscribed, which I think you should subscribe because it's free and we're going to have a lot more bangers in the future. So subscribe. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.